Hello, and welcome back to the Brothers Win podcast. I'm joined today by my brother and co-host Ian. Ian, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Matthew. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well as well.
Good.
I don't say well often. I noticed that actually. I was in the office the other day, and somebody asked me, how I was doing, the formal greeting, and I said well because there were a couple people that said well to me earlier.
Yeah.
I was I never say that.
You're on the well train.
Yeah, I never say that, and I shouldn't say it. It's like. It makes you sound smarter because it's the right thing to say.
Yeah,
but
why shouldn't you say it?
But, I say good all the time. I don't really care.
I normally say good, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think anyone cares. Is the thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cares.
Well, it does sound a little bit pretentious. Like, you're like, all right, do we really need to be that Are we that formal? Like, who are we?
Yeah. Are you doing good or bad?
Yeah, like, I'm about to be, job interviewing soon. If they're like, how are you doing today? And if I say well, it's mine, but you can have some.
Okay, no. I'm grabbing for waters here.
A bit of a water debacle here. Yeah, if they're doing job interviews and if they're like, ooh, hi, how are you doing today? And I'm like, oh, I'm well. I feel like that's gonna be a little, but maybe if I say I'm good, they're gonna think I'm stupid and not hire me.
No, it's more of a mental thing because I don't think of what other people say. I think of what I say.
It's the eternal.
So there are people that say well at the office and there are people that say good at the office, but I don't really think about whether or not they say well or good. I think about whether I say well or good.
I feel like no one cares actually that much.
So yeah, people really only care about themselves.
That sounds about right, actually. I mean,
I had that epiphany the other day and I was like, wow.
For the first time ever?
No.
Okay.
It's just reoccurred to me and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I can be happy in life knowing that
it is.
I don't really care about myself I care about myself, but I don't need to focus on myself as much as other people do.
It's a level of comfort. Like at the school I'm teaching at, I wore a shirt. I teach at FSK. It's the name of the high school, and I was wearing the only FSK merch I have on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I get an email, and they're like, Friday's FSK merch day. Like, wear your FSK merch. And I'm like, that's only 3 days away, and I've washed it. But I was like, oh man, maybe my students are gonna be like, oh, he's wearing the same shirt he wore on Monday, and I was like. They don't care.
They don't.
As much as I think they do. So
I don't think any of them. Honestly, if you asked, if you did a survey with hey, what did I wear 2 days ago? They'd be like,
okay. Was I even here 2 days ago?
Yeah,
they might not even know, honestly. So
it's a toss up. But the amount of memory people have for things like that is so small. I couldn't even name the people that say well in the office or have ever said well to me, but it meant so much at the time that it was it took up everything of that moment. So that's all I was thinking about.
It at least was on.
But now I have no clue. I have no clue who even said that to me, where I even was in the office.
The good people, the well people.
Yeah, no clue.
The well
so
people.
So it always surprises me. That's why I think so much about it, is because every time I think about it, I'm like, oh crap, they said well. Should I say well?
The Well People sounds like a Scottish kind of band,
the
Well People.
The Well People, Hunt for the Well People.
Ooh, a good movie.
That's a sequel. Yeah,
that's my favorite Taika Waititi movie. Nice. Speaking of movies, I watched. What's that movie called? Army of the Dead on Netflix the other day. If you're not aware, it's what's his name? Zack Snyder piece.
Jose Batista.
Batista's the actor. And he's not. I don't know if he's got a writing credit or a producing credit. Zack Snyder joint. I was trying to think of what they call Spike Lee films. They call them Spike Lee joints.
Oh, joints. Yeah.
So I was like, what do they call those? But
they're called Zack Snyder Johns.
I almost said Snack Zider.
Snack Jiter Zons.
Snack Jiter. Yeah, but the guy who made Justice League and all that, and his movies are fine. He made 300, so if you're into that. But this was.
I haven't actually seen that.
Oh really? That's fine. I watched it when I was young, so I don't know. Anyway, what was I talking about? Army of the Dead. It was still is a heist movie on Netflix. That also takes place in zombie-infested Las Vegas. So it's very just nonsensical, a lot of fun. It's it's kind of a Pacific Rim kind of style where you're not really looking for the story or anything like that. You're just oh, I want to have a good time. I'm going to watch a zombie heist movie and just kick back. And it was 2.5 hours long, which is a lot, but it was very good. But the one thing, have you seen that movie, by the way?
No, I haven't seen that movie.
The one thing about it is that it was the first movie I watched in its entirety after going to the movie theaters to see A Quiet Place 2, which I believe we talked about last week.
Yes.
And one thing that the movies does wrong or annoys me, but I get why they do it, is just all the ads before. Some people live for the trailers, and
I will say I do like the trailers when they're there. It depends on what type of movie you're going to see. A Quiet Place, normally I wouldn't like the trailers because horror movie trailers are usually awful. Which they were. Every movie that previewed at A Quiet Place was terrible. Only reason being, I think, is because of COVID. There's no actual movies going into theaters that are going to be good. I know the director of Baby Driver is coming out with a new movie.
Oh, what's his name?
With the girl from Jojo Rabbit. and the
Scarlett
chess.
Johansson?
No. No. The littler, the Jewish girl.
Yeah, okay.
And what's her face? The girl from the chess show.
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in that, and they're like the same person. It's weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have seen that.
It's
Is that
like in
is
the
that the
past.
Jewish girl in it?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize that was. I knew I recognized it, but I didn't know what from. Jojo Rabbit.
It's good. I had watched it so recently. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen her in anything else, and she's in a movie I'm seeing right now,
Yeah.
or I'm seeing a trailer for right now, and that movie doesn't look great to me. Like it doesn't appeal.
Interesting.
I don't think it appeals to me personally. I don't think I'll ever watch it.
That's fair.
There's also Old by M. Night Shyamalan, which gave a good giggle at the theaters because it's so ridiculous. Like every M. Night Shyamalan movie that comes out is just ridiculous. The trailer looked even worse for this one. It's also the idea is just even worse than any of the other ones he's had.
What's the idea if people don't know?
If people don't know, basically the movie's called Old. And
you have two
these
guesses.
people,
Okay.
yeah, you get two guesses. You either get old or you don't. But you do get old. In this movie,
Spoiler,
these people
Matthew.
they go to a resort or something, and it tells them that the kids aren't allowed on the beach or something. And it's very vague, but they go to the beach anyway.
I think that was a joke. I think that was the dad
Was
being
it?
like, no kids allowed on the beach, and they were like wrestling, and the mom was like staring in longingly, like,
I don't know
I
if that
love
was
my
a
young
joke.
family.
I think it probably wasn't a
I
joke.
love my family at the current ages right
yes,
now.
I
think it
love
was a joke.
that my family is still young
and not old.
Yeah.
And then she looks
And
at
not-
the camera.
and not aging at an extreme pace.
And not old by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, and they go to this beach and they immediately forget how to get out of the beach because it's like a cliffside beach. It's pretty small. They're playing hide and seek. A dead body washes up, and it's really old. And then they get old.
Hence the name.
And then they continue to get old, and then it's scary for some reason. I didn't really understand that part. It just gets scary.
I think it's one of those movies that plays on like oh, could you imagine
Yeah, but
like it would be scary if this happened, but it's not scary watching it happen live on like, a movie.
It's
theater.
definitely like psychological horror, but like that's not enough of a premise for me. Like getting old, sure it sucks, but like I really don't get it. I don't get how this movie could be good, and I think I will watch that actually.
I think so too. I think it'll be funny. More than anything.
I think getting a group of people to watch that and just riff on it, just talk the entire movie, because nobody could take that seriously.
I don't think anyone's going for like, oh yes, new M.
Well,
Night Shyamalan drop.
I think there are people that are like super excited for his movies. Like I know somebody who really liked his past like 2.
Split was really good.
I heard Split was good. I haven't seen a single
Okay,
M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Split is very good.
Or maybe I have.
Didn't you see Signs?
No.
Oh,
I don't. Actually, I don't think. If I have to guess, I don't think I've seen a single one.
The Village. That one was stupid. The ending of there's always this M. Night Shyamalan twist. That's what got. Oh, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, but I don't remember that one at all.
I just recently watched
we
that
do
one.
want to rewatch that actually. Me and my friend group. I'm not hitting.
Okay. But it's Sixth Sense. I just watched that a couple months ago for the first time actually, and it's very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I knew the twist the whole time, which it actually was very.
I know
well
the
done
twist too.
Spoiler. It was very. If you haven't watched it now, I mean that's.
It's an old movie, yeah. Like,
but yeah, the whole time you're watching it, it's like, oh wow, like I know this. Like Emma didn't know. I was watching with Emma and her mom, and her mom had seen it before. I knew the twist, and Emma knew nothing about it. So
Yeah.
like we were going through like shit. Like Emma's mom had watched it 20 years ago, or whenever it came out. I knew the twist, had never seen it, and then Emma had never seen it. So I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. She had forgotten some things, and Emma just didn't know. And it was really cool. And I was like, oh, I know this whole time. Like, spoiler alert: if you're gonna watch Sixth Sense soon, don't listen to the next 5 seconds. But that he's dead the whole time and he's a ghost.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's pretty sick. So, but it was,
I think it is that's a good twist because like it is memorable. People talk about it. People don't spoil it because it's good enough that they don't spoil it. So I think that movie holds up. For the other ones, I don't know about The Village. It sounds familiar, but it's so generic that it probably haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Generic sounding, I mean, like The Village.
he hit it big with Sixth Sense, and then everyone's like, oh, he's the next big hit. Like he's gonna be it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it worked too well. So, but
I kind of have a feeling that Jordan Peele might be going that way too.
yeah.
He hasn't made anything like banger-ish. Like Us was, in my opinion, I really liked Us, but a lot of people didn't like Us. So like,
That's our podcast.
that's our podcast. Yeah, we're talking about our podcast.
A lot of
right
people
now.
didn't like
Jordan
us.
Peele directed our podcast, so we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, welcome to our life.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just severed ties with us because he was working on the newest Transformers movie.
Which
I don't know.
which is why we're slandering him right
yeah,
now.
which is why
'cause he
we
left
really
us.
hate him.
Yeah,
No.
we're like, I think he's gonna drop off. If I had to guess one actor,
Yeah,
one director
one
who's
director.
dropping off, it's him for sure.
It-
But
yeah, he's the only one I think that could be falling off. Kind of like him, where he made such a good movie that he cannot.
it's tough when you have such
Follow
a
it up.
good thing and everyone's like, can't wait to see the next thing, and these expectations
Yeah.
are so high. It's really like hitting your peak early. So
Yeah, I think Midsummer had that for some people too, because I
Ari
know.
Aster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like Hereditary was great. Hereditary is like unnerving to the max. Like that is psychological horror, like to a T, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Perfect job. Hereditary doesn't really hit that. I think it's just a good movie.
Yeah.
But like some people weren't looking for that,
Yeah,
and
well-
a lot of people did not like it, like at all.
Welcome back to the Brothers Win podcast, where we talk about the same 7 movies
Yep.
over and over again until we die.
Hey, we've only seen a certain amount of movies. All right, it's 2 of us. We're not an encyclopedia over here. We don't know every movie.
We watch most of them together. Have I ever told you about the story where I didn't remember what the word encyclopedia was?
No.
Okay,
I don't think I have.
It was my freshman year of college, living at UMBC, and I was getting dinner with my friend Bradley. Shout out Bradley if you're listening.
Shout out.
Better be. Text me if you're listening and you hear this story and you remember it. But we were just at dinner, and it's not a long story, but we were sitting there, and I couldn't think of the word encyclopedia, and I needed it for some reason, like in this
Yeah.
situation, I was going to use it, and I was just biggest brain fart. I'm sitting there, and he's like, describe it, like, because he was trying to help me
Yeah,
get to the
yeah.
word. I'm like, it's like a dictionary but with an E, and he's
With
like,
an E.
and then he laughed, but he's like, oh, it's an encyclopedia, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, and he's like, that was the worst way to describe an encyclopedia. You could
It's
have
a
been like
dictionary
a
with an
book with
E.
a lot of information in it, and I was like, most books have a lot of information in them.
That's true.
So I was like, I think dictionary. I mean, he got it right away, so he knew encyclopedia. But back to movies. And speaking of ads, the reason I didn't, because the thing we brought up here was that.
That's true. We just went on a tangent
Yeah,
there, but
it was
yeah,
good.
go
I
ahead.
like the tangent. But the ads are, they're fine. Normally, I don't mind trailers, but at A Quiet Place, I don't know if you had this experience, but there were maybe 3 or 4 Marvel movie ads.
What they did they not do the like back to back to back to back to back, like the like it literally announced the entire like phase
So
that they
they
were going
did
through?
Black Widow, that back to back to back. Like what they did, if you haven't seen any like trailers for this recently, they did like, oh, we've missed the movie theater kind of thing, where they
It was
played
dumb.
like
It was bad, but he can continue.
they
sorry.
played like no, you're okay. The hits from Marvel, like, oh look, here's Captain America with Mjolnir, and here's, I don't know, the Hulk doing something, beating up
And
Iron Man. And
They showed people reacting to that in the theaters
was-
too,
yeah.
which was so cringy. It's like I hate videos like that. Like people like the Star Wars videos when that came out, when the 7th one came out and people hadn't been there forever, and they were just like screaming the second the movie starts. It's like
Yeah.
that's so
I'd
cringy,
hate that
bro. Like
experience.
I get you like the movie series, but you don't gotta scream like that.
Yeah, like get over it. You're adults. Like in
yeah,
there.
no, get over it, basically.
And it's also funny because they had, so what Matthew was talking about is they had like footage of the crowd getting really excited on opening night when Captain America like grabbed Mjolnir and all the dead Avengers came back, and all these like 35-year-old losers are like, oh, sorry if you're one of those 35-year-old losers, but like if you're gonna scream and clap and applaud when like a fake character grabs a fake hammer, like, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, but like I'm not gonna. It doesn't elicit the deepest joy I've ever had before. Like,
Yeah, no.
It's no landing an airplane safely.
yeah,
I'll applaud for that.
Yeah,
all
I'll
the
applaud
time.
for that. But like, yeah.
But
Okay, that got me. Okay, I didn't think of that like right away. Yeah, that's
but the thing about the Marvel thing was I saw a Black Widow trailer, like for the new Black Widow movie coming out. It is Black Widow, right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why I always forget her name. Black Widow movie coming out. I saw the trailer for it. Then that Marvel compilation. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw another Black Widow trailer. I saw the literal same
didn't get
shot
that.
of Scarlett Johansson landing out of a plane, like on her knees, superhero pose 3 times. I'm like, I'm gonna
she
like.
can't do
I
that.
was
She
like-
doesn't have superhero powers, does she?
They all
I thought she
do.
was just a normal person.
She's like a secret Russian spy, but I was like, I'm gonna freak out if I see Scarlett Johansson jump out of a plane again. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was actually getting upset with it. So
For me, like the only good movies I saw announced even were in that Marvel thing.
Fast and
and there
Furious.
was
Oh.
yeah, no. There was 2. There was only 2. And it was the new Thor, which I had to check to make sure I was happy about because Taika Waititi does direct it.
good. Okay.
So I'm very happy
It's called
about
Love
that.
and Thunder, right?
Yeah, I
Cool.
think so.
I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. That's gonna be my favorite movie whenever it comes out.
Taika
I know.
Waititi could record a piece of dog poop for like 5 minutes, and I'd be like, wow, this
Wow,
is...
he recorded that pretty well, bro.
Mwah, chef's kiss.
But yeah, the other one was Oh, what did I even like? I didn't like it that much, whatever it was.
Another Marvel movie?
Yeah, it was another Marvel
Guardians
movie. I
3?
think. Oh, Guardians 3. Yeah, Guardians 3.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm
If
looking
not
forward
just for
to
the
it.
music. Sorry. go
Yeah,
ahead.
the music will be nice, but I'm looking forward to it. But 2 wasn't as good as 1, so I don't think 3 is going to be as good as 1 or 2. Or maybe it's just as good, because James Gunn was directing those, right?
Yeah, he's doing
What
that.
happened with that? Did he come back, right?
There was drama with it. I think there was like some like cancel kind of thing where he tried
Yeah,
to
he
get
had-
canceled because he said some tweets out.
He had a couple of
I don't
racist
remember the
tweets.
tweets,
I
so
remember.
were
I
they
remember
racist?
this. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a lot of N words and F words.
Really?
Like derogatory F words.
Okay, I don't remember if I saw them or not, but I
Yeah.
do remember him getting like Marvel trying to distance themselves from him.
Yeah.
So I know
I don't think it was that bad. I think it was more like edgy stand-up comedy type thing.
Yeah.
But like, I thought I heard something where he came back, like he was going to be finishing it.
I think you might be right. I think he's definitely doing
He's doing the Suicide Squad too.
The new
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, Suicide
Squad.
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 Yeah, I love that movie. I think he's gonna be on that. So I don't know. I really.
I'm not sure what's up with him, but he's pretty good.
He
He does pretty well in his movies. You know, like they're not extreme bangers in my opinion. You know, I like watching them. Like Guardians was great. I can't even think of his other movies. I don't even know if he
Guardians
has.
1 and 2, honestly.
Yeah, I can't even say any more about it. But like his movies are alright.
He feels like Taika Waititi
So I do get
light.
exciting. Yeah. Like it feels similar. And Taika Waititi doesn't have a lot of films either.
Mm-hmm.
But like his external films are a lot better than I think James Gunn would do in an external film, you know.
If nothing more, it'll introduce me to like 10 or so new songs from the 70s that I'd never
True.
heard that I like
Yep.
a lot. So thank you, Guardians.
For me, it'll probably be like 5 that
I'm a
I'll
big
put on a playlist.
Big fan of those soundtracks. So, but
They do hit.
Speaking of like Marvel movies and franchises that maybe have outlived their welcome, the Fast
Ant-Man.
and
Okay,
Furious.
go ahead.
That's part of the Marvel, so I think
Yeah.
he's included in there. Paul Rudd, watch yourself.
Yeah.
The Fast.
I don't
and
mind Paul Rudd. I hate
I
I
love Paul
hate
Rudd.
the Ant-Man series.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Really?
I saw
series?
Ant-Man. It was all right. Ant-Man and the Wasp was not good in my opinion. And then I'm not excited at all for the next one. It's like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the something else or something like that. I don't want to watch that.
Like Quantum Verse or something weird like that. I don't like how they shoehorn Michael Douglas, like the original Ant-Man, in, the old guy.
Yeah.
He's like he has the worst voice, and some people like that, but he's like so nasally, and he talks like he's like, I'm Michael Douglas. I'm like, oh my god,
Michael
I
Douglas.
used to be Ant-Man, now I'm 80. And I'm like, can we just have Paul Rudd? He's very funny.
Paul Rudd is good.
It could be-
I will say he
So-
makes that movie in my opinion. But
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I know the theme song from Tokyo Drift. That's my, and I know they love their family. And See You Again.
and Paul Walker.
Yeah, and
But,
the meme where they're driving away from each other.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
meme.
That's a good meme. But for me as well, I've only seen I think the third one. And
You've actually seen one.
yeah, it was on in the background at a friend's house when I was like 8 or something, and we watched the Incredible Hulk afterwards. So just two of the worst movies you could ever watch right back to back.
The Edward Norton one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the original, like first. Or wait.
I made 2 of them, I think. In like 2005.
The Incredible Hulk, like the one with what's his face?
Not Mark Ruffalo. 'Cause
No,
he didn't do one.
no.
There was Edward Norton.
It was a famous
Eric
actor.
Bana?
Huh?
Eric Bana. Is that his name?
I don't know the names. Okay, but it was the one that was a long time ago. It was trash. It was like the first Marvel one that they like.
They forget about that.
Yeah, they
too.
think they like some people put it in as like the first Marvel movie. Some people don't because it was so bad.
They're
Like
it's
that's
Iron
the one I
Man.
watched.
Iron Man's the first one.
Yeah, like and yeah. That it was just terrible. It was one of the worst days. But like, yeah, it's not a good franchise in my opinion. Like it is. It's another one of those like dumb. You know, you just kind of sit down and you watch it for action and stuff. But like they try too hard with the story. It's like Transformers did, where like they didn't realize that it was just the explosions that people liked.
Yeah.
They didn't realize it was the fast cars that people like. And I think they do kind of realize it now because I think there are a lot more car scenes. Again, I don't know, but the series in itself just doesn't hold up for 9 movies.
The thing with me is that, like, speaking of 9 movies, like, I can't start now. Like, it's
yeah.
over. I'm not watching 9 car movies. Like, unless they're Cars Pixar movies, then sign me
yeah,
up.
well, yeah.
But-
I've already seen 7 of those.
The thing is, I don't want to watch all those movies. And I was watching the trailer for it, and like John Cena's Vin Diesel's brother, I'm like, sure, whatever. Let's keep going
Sure.
with it. They don't they're both muscular and they don't look anything alike. But let's keep going.
yeah.
But at the end, like they had like the Fast 9 title card. I'm like, oh, I will not see that. And also they defied physics. Like they were going over a rope bridge that was broken on one side, but they were
Yeah.
still driving on it fine. I was like, I'm protesting just from that.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you guys out there. That will not work.
But they show that, and then he like grapples onto a cliff and like swings the car, and somehow they land fine. And I'm like, that's not what I'm mad about.
I would be mad about that. I wouldn't be able to watch that movie.
I'm not even mad about it. It's just like I'm not gonna watch this anyway. So why waste the effort? But then at the end, they like are all standing around doing their family stuff, and then some like dude walks in, and like I think it's supposed to be one of those like reveal magnificos where it's like, oh dude, he's back, like
he's here.
Oh, is that Jimmy Jimmy from the lot? And he's like, is he back? And I'm like, and like no one in the audience cared, like at A Quiet Place, because I think we were all on the same boat.
Yeah,
never
nobody
watching
knows.
those movies. I don't know how they make billions of dollars on those movies.
People love those movies.
I just have never, other than our brother Sean, who is easily
in
entertained.
the cars. Yeah, easily
cars.
entertained. Cars, loves them. It's like
he's the only one I know.
There are a lot of people that love cars. Like, I will have you know the amount of money you can make off of just posting pictures of other people's supercars on Instagram is insane.
It's a business.
That dude that got famous on like TikTok for going up to people and asking what they do in their sports cars. He's like probably a million, like multi-millionaire, like tens of millionaire, just for walking up to people and being like, "Hey, what do you do?" and recording it.
Yeah.
Like, people love cars.
Mm-hmm.
It is like I like cars, but I don't love cars like that.
I ain't that into cars.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing with a car. You know what I mean? But
yeah. I'm a big Family Guy, so I love the Fast movies. I'm like, wow, they really do love each other. But like that's why I couldn't commit to them, because like I couldn't watch Fast 9 and they like bring in Jimmy, what's his name, and I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
like people clapping. That's like going into the Marvel movie and like Captain America grabs the hammer.
Yeah,
and like if it's your first time there and there's these nerds clapping next to you, like, what happened? Like, is that not what he does?
I will say, that was the worst movie experience. So I can imagine the Avengers Endgame was the worst movie experience I've ever had.
Are you talking about Infinity War, where we were in the very front row? They get matched together, but yeah, Infinity War we watched in the very front row, and I remember having like crane my neck.
I
and,
was
like.
Well, no, we did that, but there was another. I thought it was Endgame where we went and I had to sit in the front row and you sat in the back.
I don't remember that.
I went with somebody to see. I think it was Endgame. When I saw Endgame, I sat in the front row alone, by myself, because there were no open seats. The exact front row, and somebody sat at my friend sat at the exact back, whoever it was, all the way in the back. So we couldn't talk, obviously, and it was just like nerds, and they were clapping the entire time.
Oh god!
And I'm like, I just want to see what happened.
Yeah.
I saw the first movie. I want to see what happens now. Like, honestly, it was way worse than the first movie. I thought Infinity War was a lot better. Infinity War was the first one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was so much better.
Thankfully, I'm steering off the Marvel path now. Like, I watched Endgame, and I'm like, that was my exit. You know? I'm like, all right,
it
cool.
was.
Like, here's my stop. This is it for me.
I'm
like,
done.
I'll watch probably Love and Thunder, the Ragnarok.
I will watch that.
I do like Guardians. I'll probably watch the Guardians one, and that's. Like, they have, like, this, like, Shen and... I don't know his name. That's going to sound mean. Something in the 10 Rings or something like that. And then I'm not watching Black Widow.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching...
I'm not watching any other new... I'm not watching shows. I'm just done with Marvel.
In that phase, I haven't even seen, like, the new... I've only seen, I think, one of the Spider-Mans. The new Spider-Mans, the first one.
I might watch the last Spider-Man, because I do like those.
I like Tom Holland, but I can't even watch Marvel movies anymore. I don't really like him. I'm into other movies now. It's like... They don't bring me any enjoyment. They're always just like moderately good, and it's like
I've always heard people complain about
I could have watched, Whiplash again
for the 8th time.
For the 9th time.
You always hear people complain about them, like, oh, they're ruining modern cinema, and I'm like, I was 18 years old. I'm like, I don't know, you're just angry because you don't like, like Iron Man 2, like, and it's like,
I don't think it's actually ruining film though. I don't think it is because like,
good.
So it's like they are just copy and pasting, in my opinion. They are, but like. That's what comics do. So it is just comic book movies and people like them. So if they want to see their own, their favorite hero, there are people that are so into the Black Widow comic books that they are so excited for this movie because they made it specifically for them. And it's like, obviously they have like a phase program and stuff or whatever where it's specific movies, but like it just appeals to those types of people and you have to do it. Like they just got so popular because they were moderately good. And Avengers, I think, is what did it.
Yeah.
And that popped off. They just kept going.
I think ruining cinema would be if like there's no profit in making any other movie now, but like that's not true. It's not the case.
Yeah.
But I think that I completely lost my train of thought. It's not. There's still good movies coming out like that. And if people like, I mean, it's subjective. If people like watching these movies, more power to them. I still will make fun of you if you clap when a guy picks up a hammer, because that's just watch Home Improvement for that. Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah. I get pretty happy when he does that.
Yeah.
That's when I'll sit up in the crowd and start clapping.
I do that every time he makes a sound. I'm like clapping.
I watch it at this desk and I'll just stand up and start clapping, even though nobody knows I'm doing it.
Tim Allen being a snitch.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast. I don't get that. Yeah, we should probably stop with the movie talk. It's been 30 minutes on movies.
That's fair, yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to talk about how the movie experience is definitely, it's jarring coming back after being gone for like a year and being like,
it definitely is.
Year, actually.
Plus, walking into a movie theater was weird too.
It was really weird.
It was like, and then you sit down and you're like, now I gotta watch ads. You're right.
Yeah, like
it's like
I already paid for this. Didn't
it's like I've been doing movie nights with my friends, and it's like right away, like we just like. We get the movie however we get it, and then we just start watching it immediately. It's like, I mean, I won't say that not all movies are on streaming services, but like
sometimes they're left on your curb with a little bow on them.
Sometimes you just find them in the wild
with a little bow in the gutter about to fall in, and you grab
a Blu-ray disc with my non-Bluray disc player.
Is
computer.
This Die Hard 3?
Wow.
In the gutter. Yeah, exactly. So
is this A Quiet Place in the gutter?
Wow. Isn't this crazy?
No, but. Yeah, it was a completely different experience, and I honestly think the only movie I was excited to go see in the theaters after the theaters came back was A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah,
that's what I said even when the pandemic started, was like the only movie I would want to see right now is A Quiet Place 2.
Can't wait to see Quiet Place 2.
Can't wait to see A Quiet Place 2.
You're like, COVID is ravaging people. You're like, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I am strapped in for this movie.
I can't wait. That's all I was waiting for. But no, it was more like, I don't really want to go back to theaters after this. I'm probably not going to. Like, I'm probably going to, like, prefer to watch it at home.
Find the movies in the street, as one does.
Just go ahead and hunt for the movie just to see if I can find it.
It's not that hard.
It's not, but, like...
But we don't recommend hunting
We don't
for
recommend looking for movies in the wild because it's...
frowned upon. I wouldn't say illegal.
The distribution of them. The distribution of them is illegal. Owning them is not.
I don't know if I mentioned. That's true. I didn't know if I mentioned this or not, but it was funny that the guy was filming. They like posted on the Marvel compilation. They had a big chunk of it of the guy filming on his cell phone the movie with people cheering and all that. Right?
That's true.
And like they cracked down on that. There's literally ads before every single movie where there's a guy with his hood on recording the thing, and they're like, "This is illegal." And now they're like, "But here it is."
Yeah, but check this out. It's pretty cool. It's like.
I think it'd be funny if they got that footage and like, oh, this is sick, we're gonna use this in our footage, and then they arrested them.
Yeah.
You're going to jail,
we're gonna use this, but you're not gonna make anything off of it, and you're going to jail because you fucked up.
You're actually getting sued.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
In fact, quite the opposite. You are not making any money.
You think they paid him? Do you think they're like, hey, this is your intellectual property, like it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
They're like, you're lucky we don't sue you for everything you own. And he's like, yes.
You're so lucky.
I think they gave him credit maybe in the bottom right corner too. They're like, you're lucky we're giving you this, buddy. Anyway, let's move on to a new topic. Have you seen the Julio Jones trade?
I have.
In the NFL. This is an NFL talk. Just keep going until...
Like 5 minutes. I don't think we're going to talk about this for too long.
It'll be 5 minutes,
because it's just the Julio Jones
Skip
trade.
5 minutes, and if we're talking about something new, go back.
Yeah. Honestly, we might end up on a tangent, which we did for this one. Like, that was supposed to be like a 5-minute conversation. We're about halfway through this podcast.
See you in 30 minutes, all right?
Yeah. So this is the last topic for the episode.
So if you're leaving now, okay.
Yeah, so...
Like and subscribe. But anyway...
Yeah, let's do the outro real quick, and then we'll start talking about Julio Jones.
But the Julio Jones trade, if you're not... I mean... No one who doesn't watch sports is listening to us, but he's a Falcons wide receiver who got traded to the Tennessee Titans for, I believe, a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick.
And a 6th-round pick.
I think they gave them back a 6th-round pick. I think it was Julio and a 6th and a 2nd and a 4th.
They got him for a steal, all I'm saying.
I think the reason they gave back a 6th is because they took all of Julio's salary.
Oh, that's fair.
Because like most teams were like, yeah, we'll give you a 2nd, but you have to give us... You have to take some of the salary.
And
Atlanta couldn't buy like their own cheeseburgers at their stadium. Like they are in trouble with the cap. So that's why they had to trade Julio. Also, he didn't like being there apparently. So, but I think
I wouldn't doubt it. Their defense kind of sucks.
I mean,
and they can't really do anything if their defense sucks. So
they got Kyle Pitts though.
But honestly, their draft sucked in my opinion. Like they had to pick Kyle Pitts. But
Pitts was like the best player though.
Yeah, but he's a receiving tight end, isn't he? He's not a blocking tight end.
I think he blocks.
He can block, but like, you don't need that. You had Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, and you have depth at the wide receiver position, so you don't need that. You
are pretty good at wide receiver.
Anybody catching the ball anymore. You need somebody running the ball. You need somebody defending the ball. or you need somebody coaching the ball better.
Well, all those you're not drafting with the 4th overall pick.
That's
is the
true.
Thing. So, like, you're not taking a running back that early. You're
No.
not taking any defensive player because this draft did not have any defensive talent, really. Like the 2 cornerbacks were taken 8 and 9, I
You
believe.
trade back. You
But,
have a
yeah,
huge
they did-
pick.
Yeah, they did need a little bit of help. They
Give
I
it
would
to
have seen
Detroit. They would have loved Kyle Pitts, and then you get their pick, which is a little bit further back, and then you get a bunch of other picks.
Aaron Rodgers for Matt Ryan in the 4th overall pick. Who says no?
Oh, who says no?
Who says no?
Aaron Rodgers in that 4th overall pick from the Falcons?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 3rd?
No, it was
Am I
4th.
wrong?
It was Miami had that, and then they traded to the Niners, so they got Trey Lance.
Okay, so you're saying Aaron Rodgers and the 4th round pick?
No.
For the 4th round pick.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons get Aaron Rodgers. They trade
But
back.
you said who says no, so I thought
I'm
you were-
asking who says no to that deal. Who's like, no, we're not going to do that.
So if every team had a 4th round pick.
No, Matthew.
Well, like I'm saying,
Does-
oh,
do the
okay.
Falcons say
It's a
no?
hypothetical. It's a loaded question. I see what you're saying.
It's pretty much do the
It's a
Falcons say no
hypothetical.
or do the Green Bay Packers say
Yeah,
no?
see, but when you said who says no, I'm like, okay,
Okay,
are you
let's
talking
not
about
talk-
every NFL team?
Let's not
But
get
I
into
see,
it.
I see now.
This is not a good conversation. So
No, I
the
understand.
4th overall pick and Matt Ryan go to Green Bay. Green Bay gets Aaron Rodgers. Which side of the trade says no to that?
I think Green Bay says no to that.
Probably, yeah. But
But
do they say no?
no,
They traded to that.
because they don't want him there. He doesn't want to be there.
And that's
Didn't he
talking
hold out in
ball.
the first week?
Yeah, he's out right now. It's
Yeah,
training
he's
camp
still
started
out.
Tuesday, so I believe.
So
he's-
like,
he's getting fined like $93,000 a day.
he doesn't give a shit.
If I got
If-
fined $93,000 a day, I would kill myself in the first hour.
He does not care.
I know, I'm just-
That is nothing.
I
for
just think
him.
it's funny. I would.
It
be,
is funny,
I'd
but,
be
like-
hanging in the streets.
Yeah.
If like
just
an
like,
hour of
okay,
that day.
sorry. I mean,
I'm like, are you serious?
he-
And they're like, oh yeah, $93,000. I would be
What's-
dangling.
what's the drawback if he retires, pulls a Brett Favre, retires, and joins another team?
They still own his contract. So like, you remember when Rob Gronkowski
Oh, that's true.
retired?
Yeah, like Pat McAfee was trying to go to the Bears or whatever. He still has to get traded from the Colts.
Yeah, like Rob Gronkowski retired, and then a year later he saw Tom Brady. He's like, I want to go there, and they had to trade like a 7th
Oh,
round pick
yeah.
for Rob Gronkowski, or
But
the
it-
4th round pick.
But it would be a guaranteed out though, and he wouldn't be getting.
They don't want to trade him, is the thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying it would be a guaranteed out if he retires. You know,
Yeah, but
because he's out.
yeah, he wouldn't get fined. But I don't think he wants to retire. He just won the MVP last year.
But I'm saying he could pull Brett Favre. You know,
Yeah, that's fair.
retire, get back in the league.
He has like 2 more years left in his contract, so he doesn't play for
Yeah.
2 years. So like, what's his value at that point? And he's not. He
Well,
wanted
he
a
could-
contract
well,
extension.
What I'm
the
saying is
thing.
he could, if he got traded, like basically he's forcing a trade to happen because
Yeah.
he says, I'm not playing for you, I'm not playing for anyone if you don't trade me, so trade me. These people want me.
Yeah.
You can get this from me. No matter what, you are not getting play from me, and
Mm-hmm.
you are not finding me because I am not in the league anymore. But you still have my contract. So if you want to work a deal out, I can play for another team. If not, screw you guys. I'm not playing for 2 years. I'll play in a little bit. If he wants to, he'd probably retire fully at that point.
I know he doesn't care about the money. It's more of a statement, but also he does because he wanted a contract extension. I think he just wanted that security of being like, hey, I might not be good in 3 years.
Well,
like, pay me, give me a contract.
Yeah, the
extension.
Jordan
And they were
Love
like,
situation, I think,
no.
is the big problem, honestly.
Apparently, he looks good in training camp. Or
I wouldn't.
whatever,
I mean,
OTAs.
he sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. It's like the Patrick
He
Mahomes
didn't actually.
type thing. He didn't.
Well, technically he did, but he wasn't their backup quarterback last year. He was out because of COVID, I think. Like he opted
Oh.
out,
Interesting.
which that must be even worse if you're Aaron Rodgers. Like you picked a
That
guy
must be,
in
that
the
must be the worst for the Packers organization. Then Packers fans
so you
trembling right now.
I mean, I have a friend. I actually listens to this podcast. Shout out Blair, who is a Packers fan.
Yo.
And we hung out. And we talked. I wanted to hear what he thought about it, and he was so mad about that Jordan Love pick. He like said, I think he was at a movie and he like came out and he saw it and he was just so mad.
I would be infuriated, but I would be more infuriated
one of
if
the
he did not actually sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year.
What if the Ravens took like? I mean,
Right now, if they've took
they took Kellen Mond or whoever. Like,
no, they take Kellen Mond 3rd overall.
No, at 27th.
Yeah,
like we're
yeah.
like just in case Lamar, like I mean it's obviously a different situation because
Yeah.
Lamar was like it's his 4th
Lamar's
year in the
young.
league.
Yeah.
But it was still dumb. Like with his contract too. He had like 3 or 4 years left on his contract at the time when they drafted him. It's like the max Jordan Love could be in Green Bay is 5 years, and then you have to do that 5th year
You have to
option.
do something.
It's like so Aaron Rodgers leaves or retires 4 years, and then Jordan Love's like, all right, I have 1 year and it's an option. He's like, do you want to play me? It's like, we don't know really because we haven't seen you play. It's
Well,
still
sure.
a $25 million option.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It was they're wasting talent as well. I
Yeah.
feel bad for Jordan Love because he's probably not gonna play.
he might this year.
It depends
Blake Bortles.
if Blake Bortles is starting actually. Yeah, so
But
let's hope Blake Bortles starts. I would love to see Blake Bortles start. I know he probably will start in the preseason. no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see him play. I'll probably watch the Packers preseason games, but yeah, it's a situation and a half in Green Bay. But
let's finish up talking football and get
say,
back to Julio Jones.
Let's get to Julio. We haven't talked a single bit about it.
So the top 3 like AFC teams, maybe even 4, are Chiefs, Bills, and then Ravens, Cleveland probably are like right close to each other. I'd say probably Ravens above, but we're Ravens fans, so it's hard to be unbiased. So I'll give Cleveland there.
Technically, it is Ravens above because we were above them last year. So
we went to the same playoff round.
Well, no. We got the higher seed though. If we went to the same playoff round, it doesn't.
Did we?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We won the division.
Yeah.
No. Did we win the division?
No,
yeah, we did. No, Steelers won the division. Yeah. So, but the Steelers aren't looking.
We did get the higher seed because we played.
We did get the higher seed. They got 6. We got 5.
Basically, we're about the same. So,
yeah.
But basically those are the top 4. And Tennessee, like, depends on where you look at it, but like the AFC South looked way worse, and they looked way worse as a team. Does this put them in the top 5, and does it catapult them over any of those teams? Do you think?
The Titans are a confusing mess in my opinion because they can be good, they can be bad, and I think their team.
Talking football.
Yeah, and that's it. Next topic.
No gray blood, black or white. They'll be 0-17 or 17-0, buddy.
Yeah, it's weird because like, and it's game to game too. It's not even like consistency. And then when they're in the playoffs, for some reason they're great. So it's like, can they even get to the playoffs? I mean, sure they have a lot of weapons now, but is Ryan Tannehill going to be as good? He's a toss-up. There's so much toss-ups. They are literally taking coin flips and flipping them all across the field.
I think they were definitively worse than they were last year. If you looked at them before the Julio Jones trade, they lost Arthur Smith, who was their play caller, who was a really good play caller. He went to head coach over at Atlanta. And then they lost some good cornerbacks. Their defense was depleted. They lost Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis.
Yep.
They only had AJ Brown as a receiver, really. And
he's good though.
He's good, but they only had one good receiver. I mean, I can't speak much from being a Ravens fan with receivers, but I mean, it was.
I mean, they had what's his face? They had Jonnu Smith, but like I mean, they had decent receiver depth. Like
who's their second receiver?
Nobody. But like they had threes. They had threes.
Was it Cole? No, Cole Beasley's on the. It's the small guy who
Humphreys.
Yeah, Adam Humphreys. He's not there anymore either, I don't think.
No.
So they're
done. But like.
But then they get Julio Jones, and it's like I think they just.
Two.
I think they're just about where they were last year. I think they're not any better than that. I don't think they can get any better than that. They definitely got worse over this offseason. I think this puts them right there. But Julio Jones is such a toss-up.
I think if I had to do predictions for the season, I think they are worse than they were last year. Only because of the coin flip thing. Like, Derrick Henry's great. Ryan Tannehill is a coin flip. I think he's good. I think he showed that he's good. But I don't think he's good enough to lead a team to be, like, top 5, you know? Yeah. But, like, and then you got, like, defense coin flips, like, defensive back coin flips. There's nobody there. It's not even coin flip. Honestly, the coin's gone. It's not going to work. You can't even flip the coin because it's just broken. They're going to lose. So it's like,
I don't know. I think they are good enough to finish 10-7, which I don't like saying because it's a 17-game season. But 10-7 is the best they can do. But if they do that, the AFC is so like dog water with Carson Wentz being like unknown. Like I think that wins them the division most of the time. So that's
100%.
I think they're
going to challenge them. Jacksonville.
I think they go 9, and if they go like 9-8, then they still even win that division because
100%.
Jacksonville probably will win more games. Tennessee's going to be a garbage fire. Like, that's even saying that.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that the AFC South will be the worst division in the AFC. I don't know. I might even say the entire NFL just because I think the NFC East is going to do a little better this year. Yeah. let's hope.
Gosh, it'd be hard to do worse.
I cannot watch it again. It was so fun. It was such a fun novelty to see them do that bad.
Rooting for every team to lose, even when they played each other. It's like, can they tie?
Is there any way that these teams could just get another loss on their record somehow?
Like, you just wanted the team to make the playoffs, so like 0 or like 1, like 11-1.
Yep.
Like you're like, please, can that happen?
What's the lowest they can get?
Yeah.
And it's like
that didn't even work out that math, but still, like you're just praying something that like terrible worked out. So.
Yeah, but it was great. But I cannot watch more football like that. Yeah, I cannot be subjected to that. And I think that division needs to be good for the NFL to be good. Because I mean, for a lot of people, and including me, I think like I hate the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are bad.
You're talking about the NFC East.
Oh yeah,
I thought you meant the AFC South. I'm like,
oh no,
I never remember about the AFC South. That's where I lose. Like if someone's like,
that's
name all
also
32
true.
teams, I'm like, I forget one of those usually.
If I can remember, one team from each division, I can name every division. But
Yeah,
that's
I'm
all I
usually
need
fine
to
with
do.
it, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like that's the division I forget about. But
Yeah,
NFC East, you're right, because it's got those big markets.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about the NFC East still. To clarify, I was talking about the NFC East being the worst division last year, and hoping that they could lose, constantly.
Yeah, but New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, and Washington football team. They're all just the biggest, outside of
club.
Washington, the footy team. They're just the biggest, markets, and it's like they need it. And they're historical franchises, too.
Yeah.
They've all had some level of honor and glory,
I hate the Cowboys, but, when they're good, they're fun to play against. Because I hate them so much.
And people love rooting against them, so when they're on TV,
Yeah.
it's fun to be and they're good. It's like, oh, I love hating them because they're good.
They get the Thanksgiving game. They have to be good. The
Dude.
Lions got to be good, too.
I hope they're good. I hope they're fighting kneecaps off.
Yeah, I don't think I remember a time where any of those games were good. The best game I remember was Ravens-Steelers recently.
The 49ers Ravens game, I think. Was that good? I just remember being excited for that. They canceled the Ravens-Steelers game.
No, that was wasn't it a trash game?
I don't remember. I remember it was the year after because we did the Super Bowl the year before. Anyway, we should probably get off talking about football. Anything else you want to finish with on football?
Just finish up the Julio talk. I think the Falcons got ripped off a little bit, in my opinion. I think even though they take the salary a bit that I just learned, I think they got ripped off still, and they're not going to be as good this year, which is unfortunate because they weren't that great last year. I think they're going to start spiraling into a rebuild soon when they lose Matt Ryan, and they're going to be wasting a lot of talent. Like Calvin Ridley's got to go, stuff like that.
I think ripped off is tough because the market wasn't good for him, and they kind of had to get rid of him because he didn't want to be there and they need to get rid of salary. So I just think that's tough. But this will not deter me from my now annual tradition of picking all 5 bird teams in the NFL to make the NFL playoff.
No, I will not do that.
I'm not confident about the Eagles. The Cardinals will not win in that NFC West.
I think the Eagles could do well if they figure something out.
The Falcons are always my sleeper team. I'm like, they got it, man. Saints aren't good this year. Panthers, they're with Sam Darnold. I'm like, maybe.
For me, it's honestly the complete opposite.
And Seahawks and Ravens are the other two, if you didn't know the other two bird teams, in case.
And the three, the Cardinals, Seahawks, Ravens, will make it. I'm almost guaranteed.
Cardinals? With the Niners and the
They just got
Rams?
J.J. Watt.
If this was 2015, this would be awesome news.
He's great. He is still great. They needed that. They literally did need that. I am a huge Cardinals fan.
They
I will say.
Too much, man. That was 20. That was
they
$25
paid a lot,
million
but their team is already pretty good. They need a better defense. They need. They have good wide receiver. They have a great offense, in my opinion. They really don't need a better offensive line. That's huge. Offensive line, defense.
They did get that Raiders guy.
They drafted another linebacker, which sucks. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's defense. Yeah, it is defense. But I think they're going to do a lot better than they did last year. I think the 49ers are going to suck so much that they're going to get a wild card position. What?
The 49ers are going to suck that they get a wild card position? Oh,
I think they're going to suck.
That
the Cardinals get a wild card position.
Sorry, your pronouns were thrown
off
there.
Sorry. I just assumed that everyone knew which pronoun I was talking about.
I did not.
So the Cardinals are going to get a wild card position. I think the Seahawks might do trash this year.
Wow.
They didn't really get much worse or better.
The Rams? What do you think?
I think the Rams had their best chance, but
you honestly think that's not the best division in the NFL though?
It is, yeah.
But
the 49ers trash.
They're
not gonna do good.
I don't agree with that.
Nope.
They had so many injuries last year. All right, let's get off. We can say this for another day. We said it was going to last 5 minutes.
We'll make our predictions and we'll put them out there on
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's 12
Something
minutes.
Like that.
So football, we don't need that. Anyway, last thing that I want to. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
No. If you got something.
I was just thinking about this weekend. We're going to Hershey Park.
Sorry, it's funny that I'm hosting the episode and you come up with every topic.
Well,
I'm like, nah, you got it.
Far be it from me. So next week I'll host and Matthew will say everything.
So honestly, from now on, just to talk about that. From now on, we should probably just do what we're doing now, where it's casual conversation. Mm-hmm. Nobody's really the host, but we switch who intros the podcast, basically. Because that's what it is now. You're not hosting it anymore. It's not. I'm not hosting the podcast. I really haven't done anything to host a podcast. I'll do the outro, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, we're going to Hershey Park this week. Sunday,
yeah, which is the day this podcast comes out. So if you listen on Sunday night, we'll be in Hershey. Isn't that crazy? What a peel behind the lens.
That is crazy because now I have to remember to edit it Saturday instead of Sunday when I actually upload it.
You're welcome. Shout out future Matthew for editing the podcast. But
I do all my work on Saturday.
I haven't been to Hershey Park, and I feel like 5 years maybe. Have you been more recently than that? I mean, obviously COVID has kept
the most recent time I've been was when I was a junior in high school. So that'd be. Yeah, it'd be with band.
So that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, about like 5 years ago.
Crazy. I love Hershey Park. I haven't been in such a long time. Like Sky Rush was new the last time I went. If anyone knows.
No, I was like 2012 or 2015.
I don't know. I hate Sky Rush because
I love it.
I have thick thighs and it pushes down too much of my thighs and I'm like, ow.
That's fair, but I at one point I was watching videos online and apparently Sky Rush is like roller coaster enthusiast like destination.
Actually?
Yeah, like people go there just to ride Sky Rush.
I've heard a lot about that about Fahrenheit.
Did not know that. Yeah, Fahrenheit's another one that people like just because it's so like it's different.
We used to go there like every summer, man. Like with
we
our
did,
grandparents.
yeah. It was like every summer. I rode Fahrenheit when it first came out when I was like 10.
Dude, those lines are crazy long.
Yeah, we waited for 3-4 hours. I remember. Oh my god, the first time I ever rode it was like a 3-hour line, and my grandmother, Grammy, she
shout out Grammy.
Shout out Grammy if you're listening.
I don't know if she knows how to access our podcast. If someone put a gun to her head and was like, go to your grandson's podcast. She'd be like, just pull the trigger, buddy.
No clue. But if you're listening, shout out.
Shout out Grammy.
But I remember them constructing it up into the point where it was actually done, and then that year we went, and she was like, "You're getting on that this year." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I have never been on a roller coaster. Like, on the biggest thing I've been on was probably Super Duper Looper there, which is not a roller coaster really. It is a children's ride.
It's not that.
It's
bad.
not. No, it's actually pretty fun. I still ride it.
I love it. Yeah.
But it is very short.
That's a slept
It's
on
like
one
2
that like.
loops. It's not like 10.
It's the super. No, I don't know.
It's got like 2. I only remember 1.
I'm making garbage up. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, but like.
And if no one's ever in line, so you just like.
That's true. Yeah, you just run back. You just keep running it back. But
yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You're gonna get on that." I'm like, "What? No, I'm not. I haven't even been on the other ones in the park. Like, there's lightning racers that are huge. I never wanted to go on those. Great Bear, never went on that. That was the most terrifying because of the sound it made.
Lightning Racer's hilarious. They're like, what if we made a roller coaster and then made another one that was the exact like copy
yeah,
paste?
Yeah, that was almost no different from the other one.
Like, the roller coaster engineer in like the 60s when they made it, he like put out his cigarette on the ground. He was like,
"By God, we've done it."
you're a genius, man. That man, Milton Hershey.
That man, Nikola Tesla.
Synchronized.
Wow.
You go.
Okay. But yeah, she made me ride it, and it was like a 3-hour wait, and that was the most anxiety-filled wait I have ever had. And the wait for that ride was the longest ever. Like
I remember
Sky Rush lines too, long as hell. But like the actual line would go out the front where you would actually get into the line, and it was just like 3-hour wait from the front of the line, and it kept going back. It's like, oh my god. Now I'm sure it's much better, but like. I love that ride. Favorite ride.
Sky Rush?
Yeah.
I got to try it again. I did it once and I was like, my thighs are on fire. Yeah. I think I'm going to fly out of this thing. You know,
that's the point.
I know, but it didn't feel safe. Maybe I was getting too old to where I was like, oh no, like I can't do this anymore. Too anxious about
falling out because it does feel like your thighs can just do this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoop, out of there. And plus, the ride's meant to make you feel like you go out of the seat and come back into the seat like past G's. It's like, I think it said like 6 G's. Up and down on both sides,
G's.
Which is a lot of G's if you didn't know.
G standing for
grams.
I was like, I really hope he knocks this one out. I was like, what you gonna say, buddy?
Yeah.
I was really like,
it's grams.
6 grams of force.
6 grams.
Come ride Sky Rush at Hershey Park. There's 6 grams of force.
Up and down. Okay. But yeah, it's 6 G's of force, which is a lot. Up and down.
Up and down.
So it makes you feel like you're just getting launched out of the seat and then pulled right back into the seat like crazy. And the turns are great. It's a little rough. It is extremely rough, actually. I won't even exaggerate.
Do you remember when Marissa got a concussion on a Wildcat? I think you weren't even born yet, but
no.
Marissa slammed her head on the side of the Wildcat.
She got a concussion? I wouldn't doubt it.
I got a concussion.
That ride...
Sorry.
That ride's a nightmare.
I had a concussion on the zipper ride at a carnival one
time. I do remember that.
That was bad. I was at my friend Brad. Shout out Bradley again. I was at same guy. We went to the carnival together. And also at this carnival at this time, that was a nightmare time. But someone got a brick thrown in their face in the parking lot.
Oh,
and
Lord.
Like Bradley's mom saw it and she came crying to us. And we were like, we should probably go home.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, we were on the zipper and it's not a safe ride for sure. And I slammed my head against the top of the ride when we were there, and it was like 2 a.m. I was sleeping over. I was already anxious about sleeping at people's houses because I'm a bad sleeper, and I was in 7th grade.
That's right. You didn't know about melatonin.
I did.
Shout out to our sponsor this week's episode.
Melatonin, naturally occurring in the brain.
Yeah, naturally occurring.
We're
selling it. Yeah,
our brains paid us to do it. But yeah, I threw up at 2 a.m. in his house, and I cried and called my dad to come pick me up.
Nice, good memories.
Yeah.
For me, I personally never had a bad experience on a roller coaster, which is kind of weird.
They're gonna say at a carnival. I'm like, that's actually pretty good that you've come out unscathed from a carnival.
Yeah, I've had a couple of headaches coming out of carnivals. Like I'm trying to think. There was one I remember specifically around us that we went to. And it had one of those like spinner rides where like you stood on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was one of the cheap ones. It wasn't like the UFO rides that they have where it like slides up and it's like kind of high tech.
It's pretty much a metal cage.
Yeah, now it is a metal. Back then it just a metal cage that you just got spun around.
And the top was off too.
Yeah, it was. So you could go flying. Honestly, they probably didn't care if you went flying because there was no way to tell.
They're like, I think this high school dropout knows enough about gravitational forces that you'll be all right, buddy.
Yeah. And it's just literally a metal top that spins super quick, so you can't move. And it's like, though that ride is just an insane concept. Like, it makes sense. It's just a bigger like playground thing, the spinner things that's on the playground, but you are locked into it and it goes way quicker than it actually should.
It just hurts more than anything.
And it
it's
does
just
hurt.
fun.
Yeah.
The only thing that's fun is like you're like, oh, my arm.
Like
it's hard to put my arm up.
I can't pull my arm up.
Hey, check it out, honey. Look at my arm.
And then a bug flies at you. And
and then you raise it like
your skull.
above, like if you can somehow get it above your shoulder, and it flies
to
the top. What a time! Carnivals are strange. I had my first kiss on at the Manchester Carnival on the top of the Ferris wheel. Actually, it was like on the cheek, but it was like still. Player, yeah.
On the top of the Ferris wheel.
I was telling everybody. I was like to the guy throwing bricks at people. I'm like,
hey.
My new favorite Carnival Barker game. Yeah. It's like, kind of step right up. Let me throw a brick in your face. $10. If I miss, I'll give you a prize.
You get like different places you can stand at for different prices. So like if you stand super close and you let him throw it, it's like the biggest prize.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you get my stand at. You become the new brick thrower.
Yeah. It rotates out.
He actually just died. Like, thank you for freeing me from my eternal suffering. And he like just rises up. You're like, oh no, what did I do?
Oh my lord!
And now you're trapped in what is basically hell, throwing bricks at people's faces until someone
running a carnival game.
That is hell. Yeah, just anything like that. I some of those carnival games, they're just always scams. So like I never really got into them as like a young person. I was never like, oh, I could definitely cheat on that one. I'm just like,
plus it costs so much money.
Yeah,
it costs more money than the rides do, and I'm like, I could actually have fun on a ride.
Yeah, it's like you like do the bottle knockdown game, and it's like $5 for 3 baseballs. I'm like, you're kidding, actually, right?
It's like, I could go to the store and buy a baseball for like $1.
I don't think that's the point. It's like I could buy a funnel cake here, and that's better than this stupid stuffed animal I might win. If I'm probably not gonna win, honestly, because that's how you make money.
I enjoy doing it for the novelty, and I think a lot of people do. But
I think that's the point. I don't think it's like a
it's not like a main attraction there, but
no, I'm gonna beat this guy.
There were so many games that were just like you said, obviously scams. Like there was one that was popular around us, obviously the airsoft gun shooting one where you have to shoot the star out of the paper, and it's impossible. Yeah. And people don't realize it.
But they're like,
I want to shoot a gun. I want to shoot a gun, and like that's a gun. And little kids come up and they're like, yeah, and they're like, pop, 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 and they shoot it. There's no way you're gonna do it. Nobody has ever done that.
They do the things that play on your manhood, where it's like, can you throw a baseball, you lazy sack of garbage, and you're like, oh, I can throw a baseball at 3 bottles and knock them down.
And they make you think that you have to throw it fast and that offense, and it's like you don't.
It's like I can shoot a gun into a star. It's like you probably can, but because you're a loser, you probably think you can.
Because you're a loser, you probably think you can actually do this.
And that's why you're a loser. Because we'll take all your money.
Yeah, it's like, can you throw a ping pong? I mean, that's not a masculine thing, but can you throw a ping pong ball?
Yeah, actually. Into a fishbowl.
Into a fishbowl, yes.
That's a true measure of a man.
I have won multiple fish from there. We did have one, Gus.
That's his name. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I always remember Gus because he ate other fish.
But he's a monster.
We got like other fish from the pet store. Yeah, and they like push them into the filter. They get stuck and they eat them.
Yeah, it was maybe we didn't feed him enough.
I don't know, but he was pretty big, and he lasted for like 3 or 4 years.
I think it was a while.
It was a long time.
Too long.
Multiple fish were eaten in that tank.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
We didn't learn our lesson. Which is unfortunate.
But oops, sorry if it's static there. I touched the XLR cable here for the mic. And it may have done that.
Behind the scenes,
yeah, my mic sucks.
If that has happened at all this episode. I've seen you do it a couple times. So.
I haven't touched it actually yet. No, I just touched it again.
No, I saw you touch it before. I just didn't want to stop the podcast.
I didn't notice any of the times I touched it. But sorry if it did static. I'm gonna buy one soon.
It's Matthew's fault.
This mic is usually not right in front of me.
If it ever happens again, it's whoever's hosting's fault. Just
it's true.
Guarantee that.
So I'll be sure to touch the mic tomorrow or next week when Ian's hosting. Yeah, and Ian's using a completely different mic, so he sounds fine. But yeah, Gus, we did win a more recent carnival fish that died instantly as they gave it to us.
It was dead.
By the walk around the carnival, it was the last thing we did. And by the walk around the carnival, by the time we walked to the parking lot, it was dead. And we were like, okay, well.
It's kind of macabre, like handing children like live things. And being like, this is your responsibility. Can you imagine getting puppies or cats?
Yeah.
At a carnival?
I don't get it. It's like, that is so inhumane.
And then you get to learn about death real young, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because like either you're smart enough.
We didn't, because Gus survived for 5 years.
Yeah, we still don't know what death is.
Yeah, we don't know.
We were like, you either find out what death is at a young age, or you're old enough to realize that this thing's not gonna last you a long time. Yeah. So it's like, it's just like, kind of a crappy gift.
It's a crappy game too. It's like, none of it is fun. So that one, I'll veto that one.
Maybe it's one big metaphor for life. Oh, we're getting rid of games. Maybe we should.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which ones are we getting rid of? Which ones are we praising?
I haven't had enough time to think of this. The bowl. Okay, the one where you roll the bowling ball just over the ridge.
Yeah.
I hate that one. I think that one should go away. It's garbage. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's like the only feeling you get from it is pure sadness. I've never seen anyone win it, and it's not fun. You're not like, oh, at least I threw a ball really hard and had a good time.
Oh, I tried to throw that bowling ball real hard and it didn't work.
Then I tried later and it didn't work either.
Yeah, and then I paid another $17.
I was gonna say, and now I'm broke. So.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't even know which ones I'd praise because I really don't like a lot of them. I'd praise skee ball, but skee ball is not a carnival game.
Yeah.
So they're just at it sometimes.
All-time fun one is hitting the hammer on the little thing and it sends the guy in the air.
I kind of like those, but like they're also rigged. Like
they're rigged, yeah, but it's fun to be like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
like,
that's another
me playing in my
masculine
mask.
one. Yeah,
that's probably why, because I can
one.
actually do this. I ran. Yeah. I went to a summer camp that I helped volunteer at, and I ran. We did like a carnival night.
Yeah.
And I ran one of those stations, and it was so much. We were doing it like one-handed. It wasn't rigged, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm like, boom, bam. So that one really. Bing. That's probably why I have fond memories of that one, because I would never do that at an actual like. Yeah. I think they have one right by the Ferris wheel at Hershey Park.
Yeah,
like,
they do. No, I've seen that one, and that one's 100% rigged. Never do that one.
The basketball one is also garbage.
Basketball one's rigged.
Yeah. Because they make them oval, like the oval.
And they're
rims.
11 foot high.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yo, they're so huge. They look
and they're
intimidating.
matte. The backboards usually aren't there, like, or aren't as good.
I played basketball my whole life, and I was never like, I want to try that one.
Yeah,
first I wasn't good at 3-pointers, but I was always like, I know that looks harder than doing anything I've ever done in basketball before.
Yeah, like you gotta be pretty good to hit those, and plus it's like, I could buy that basketball for $15 on Amazon now.
Less probably, honestly, because they're tiny ones too. So
yeah, or even the big ones. Like there were big ones, but you have to hit a lot of shots, so it's like pretty much impossible.
Yeah, exactly. But looking forward to Hershey this week.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Should be a good
I will
time.
be doing as many arcade games just to prove my point.
Just to prove that I am masculine. And
just to prove that I'm masculine and arcade games suck.
Yeah, just to show them what's what. So
and to show them I got money now.
Idiots! I'm not 4 years old anymore. I'm not scared of the mascots anymore.
I got a bunch of money now.
What are you gonna do about it? And they're like, we'll take it. Actually,
actually, this is how I make money. But yeah, anyway, that's been our episode today. I don't think we're gonna go too much longer.
I'm already kicking around an hour, so
yeah, it's true. We have gone for a pretty long time.
Thanks for listening.
Appreciate the listens. You can find us on Instagram at Brothers Whim, Twitter Brothers Whim, YouTube The Brothers Whim Podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google Play Podcasts,
Google Playcasts,
Google Playlists. And yeah, so we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.